Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on how I do my eyebrows. These are my everyday brows, my power brows, they look like they just got tattooed on brows. But if you're interested in watching how I do my eyebrows, just keep on watching. My eyes suck because I have one eye that's bigger than the other, and now that I said it, it's gonna be like unseen. My brow shapes aren't completely the same. But that's okay. Brows are sisters, not twins. But of course you always want to make them relatively looking the same so they don't stand out too much. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the products that I like to use and the brushes I like to use. So of course what a lot of people see and what I've been taught as well, that your eyebrows start where your nostril is, so up and then across, and then it ends from there. Yeah. And so the brushes that I like to use, it depends on which product I'm using, but I'll show you which I use, which brush I use with what. But so of course you always need a spoolie, one of these bad boys, so like a disposable mascara one that you can use to comb your brows. So you want the hairs to be nice and even. All the brushes I do like to use are synthetic hair, right? So this is the Real Techniques brow brush, I believe, or regular angle brush. It looks like this. I don't know if you can get this individually. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but I got this in one of her sets that we have here in Canada, and they sell them in Walmart, and it's that thick. Okay. Then I also have the MAC 263 brush, which looks like that. It's small and nice and thin as well. I really like this for smoothing out any lines, so dipping back into any product and just like having that sharp line definition, that's really good for that, especially for the tail of your brows, because since it is very thin. I also have this brush. This is by CiCi CC Brushes. I got this at Illamasqua. This cost me $1. And I love this for concealer. This is the Illamasqua Brow Cake, and this is in the color Thunder. So it's just a brown color and it looks like this. So you can use this wet or dry. You can see I put sealer on there, but you can just scrape that off in case that ever happens. Okay. I also have the very so popular Dipbrow Pomade in dark brown by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is what it looks like. This is the color I like. A lot of people I know like chocolate, the shade, but I don't like it because it's too warm. So that's that. It took me a while to like this because at first I did not like it, but I started to play around with it and I started to like it. This was one of my favorites at one point. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. It looks like this, and it has a spoolie on one end, and then you have the product that's retractable on the opposite end. And this is in medium ash, correct? Yes, medium ash. Okay, so the reason why I started using this, I'm going to show you my favorite technique at the moment. It's a bit softer and also a little bit lighter, so I like to put that in the front of my brows. You guys have seen me use Thunder a lot, so today I'm going to be using the Dipbrow Pomade since it is a bit more tricky to use, especially if you're not familiar with doing your brows. And I'm also going to use the Brow Wiz. Okay, and also if like you do want to set your brows, so you want to put a brow gel through them, or if you have any like sneaky hairs that like to go everywhere, my favorite brow gel is by Illamasqua, and this is the Brow and Lash Gel. It looks like this. And it's 0.27 fluid ounce, so it's like a mascara really. The one's probably gonna be dirty because I do use brown brow products, so that's why it looks like that. Okay, and it's just clear. The favorite concealers that I like to use around my brows, right now I've been using the Illamasqua CC concealer, and this is number 200. Looks like this. It's a lot lighter, but I don't mind. Sometimes I like to have more of the highlight around my brows, then you can just blend it out with your foundation. But it looks like this. The texture is really nice because it is creamy, but it's not super creamy to the point. It's just kind of really soft. For a really long time, and you'll see what I mean. For a really long time, I used the NC35 Pseudo Finish Concealer by MAC, and it looks like this. You can see I use a lot of it. Looks like that. And I also really like to use a Dermacolor Concealer Circle by Krylon. No, looks so. You see me use this as well. This is the packaging. And those are the colors. So I just mix between these two. This one and this one. So it looks like that. I'm going to show you the back if you want to find it anywhere. So those are the colors. And do these, the Anastasia products, okay? So I'm just going to do my right eyebrow, and I'll show you how I do my left. Okay, everyone, I'm back. So I just finished doing my right eyebrow, and this is what it looks like. So you could see, you can get an idea of what you would get. So yeah, so this is using the brow pencil and the Anastasia Dipbrow product. Okay, so the brushes that I like to use for these are, so of course your spoolie, but I like to use the MAC 263 with the Dipbrow pomade because it is really thin, so you get better precision out of it, so you have more control out of the product, because it's kind of like putting like a gel liner through your brows, so you really need the precision so you don't make it too messy looking. Even though we use the concealer to clean up, but you don't want to kill too much time with it. This is what I use to blend out the concealer. This is also by CiCi Brushes, CiCi Fashion Brush. That's what it says on this guy. And I also got this at IMATS, and I believe this one was $2. So it just looks like this. Really nice for concealer, really nice for blending out as well. So yeah, let's get started. So first I'm going to be taking the pencil. So once again, I'm going to comb through my brows. Okay, and now I'm just going to lightly take a little bit of the product, so I just rolled some of it out. And I'm just going to lightly feather it through the front. I personally like to keep the front a lot lighter, so it gives a slight gradient effect, and also it doesn't make your brows look too boxy. So it looks more natural, even though a lot of people ask if my brows are tattooed, which I completely don't mind. But yeah, so also when holding your pencil, the closer you are to the tip, the more pressure you'll have. The farther away, this goes for blending as well, the lighter the pressure. So I kind of like to be in the middle, sometimes closer, because I can control that pressure. But let's say if you do make a mistake, just take your spoolie and just comb right out. Okay, so from the front, I'm just going to do small strokes. I'm like very lightly touching my brows, really. And I'm just going to go upwards. So as if I'm drawing little hairs. But then I'm also going to create a slight line. Do you see that? I made this line right here. So it helps start to create a bit of that shape. And I'm just feathering it upwards. And you always want to stop and look back into your mirror so you can see what you're looking at. But yeah, so if you make any mistakes, you could just take your finger, go right under it, or you can just go back in with your concealer, which I'll show you in a little bit, to just clean it up. And I like to do this on the first quarter of my brow. So I don't go all the way through, I only stop to like about here. It's about there. I'm just going to feather that through, a little bit through the top. But as you can see, naturally, my brows are thicker here more than this, the beginning, which is okay, but I kind of like to even it out just a little bit. Then I'm just going to go through, take the brush. Okay, so far you have that. Then you can add a bit more pressure if needed. But yeah, so then you have that. So now I'm going to go into the dip brow, and I'm going to take my MAC 263 brush, so this guy that we were talking about earlier, and I'm just going to dip this into the product. I would say if you do load too much, you could just put some on the back of your hand. So just like that. So you help evenly distribute that color. And I like to do my brows starting from the bottom. So you're going to outline the shape. And as you can see, I'm not taking it just like, wee, no. I'm kind of like dividing my strokes. So I would go, lift up, go down again. Okay, so now you have that. So you can see you're gaining that shape already. And now I'm gonna go from the top and kind of just connect it. Okay, so now you have the shape. So now what you're gonna do is just fill it in. And same thing, you're just gonna do short strokes. You can also fill it up to here too. So just by gradually filling it in, you can also take it more towards the front part of your brow, so you blend those parts equally. So now you have that. So it's up to you if you do want to leave it like this. I don't, because I'm so used to lining my brows and making them more defined with concealer. But yeah. You always want your tail to be pointed. I don't like stubby tails. Okay, so now you have that. I'm just gonna feather that through here just a bit. Okay. So next I'm going to take my Illamasqua concealer, which is this one right here. And this is Illamasqua CC concealer in 200, so it is a lot lighter than my natural skin tone. I'm just going to take a bit of this product with my spatula. I'm just going to put on the back of my hand, so right beside there. Because this is going to help warm up the product so it goes on a lot easier. So I'm going to take the angle brush by CiCi Brushes. And so I'm just loading up my brush with that. I like to use more concealer than I kind of really need because it really creates that cutout looking brow, which I really like, so that's why. So you're just going to outline the shape. So when you outline the shape of your brow and start to blend it out, you'll see where you need to add more, where you need to erase out of areas that are out of place. But so I like to start from the front. So I raise up my brows a little bit. So just tracing where I placed down that product. So there, you have that. Okay, so now you're going to go all the way around. So just going under. Okay, so you can already see your brow starting to take shape. And I'm going to go here too. So I'm just adding more concealer to my brush. Okay, so you can see the shape so far. So from here, I like to cut the tail. So from my arch downwards from the top, I like to do that. So place my brow brush down and just bring it down. So there you go. Okay. And then I like to press and feather it upwards. So it's easier to blend that concealer later. So now you have that. So you can see your brows really starting to take shape now. So you're going to load up your brush again. And you're going to do the top. I'm trying to do this at a good angle. So press your brush down and drag it across. You don't want to make your brows look like Disney brows where they go up like that. So that's why I'm putting a bit more concealer in the front to lower it just a bit. And so when you get to your arch, you're just going to follow the shape down. And then once again, you're just going to feather it up. So let's say you're done carving out your brows, but you took away a bit too much. I like the way it looks, but if you were to take your brush again that you used for the dip brow, you can just go over it again. So let's pretend like down here. This also helps out with smoothing the product if you have any like ridges that you don't like. So now I'm going to take this concealer brush and I'm just going to lightly blend this out. So by watching my videos, you can see I like to do brows first. Some people like to do it after. The reason I do it beforehand is because I do the whole concealer thing. I find it gets too messy. I don't like when I mess up my blend for eyeshadow, so that's why I do it first. So I'm just pressing it down and then just blending it out. Okay, and that's how I do my brows. So these are my go-to everyday brows. Some people might think that this is too much, but I love this look, especially because I usually do stronger eyes, so it kind of has that balance. Also because since my brows are really sparse, I like to do power brows, full-on here I am brows. It also looks a little awkward because I don't have any other makeup on, but yeah, if you do want to set your brows, just take your brow gel and literally just comb through your brows. I like to go up and then over, up and over, especially if you have longer brow hairs, because if you just comb them upwards, then they just stay up. But it's kind of like making a swoosh, so they just go up to the side. I don't with this product because the pomade, once it sets, it doesn't move. But yeah. So that's my finished brow. You can see what that looks like. My hair is all crazy. Let's put it down. And this is getting way too long, so I just pin it to the side. It looks a bit much. I usually wear more hair on this side, but when my hair is all the way up, I just push it all to the side. Anyway, okay, so that's how I do my brows. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye!